Morning came, but the canopy didn't sound the same. Children no longer raced across the branch roads. Parents walked beside them. Hunters looked upward as often as they looked ahead. Every passing shadow made someone stop. Every rush of wings turned every head. The owl had changed everything. Near the center of the village, the elders gathered. Caleb stood beside one of the open walkways. His fingers traced the woven handrail. Then he looked toward the branches overhead. We've protected ourselves from what walks below. He paused. Now, we must protect ourselves from what flies above. The elders nodded. One of the hunters spoke. We can't cover every branch. Caleb smiled. We don't have to. He knelt beside a living vine, gently lifting it into his hands. The forest has already given us what we need. The others watched. We'll weave living vines over the busiest branch roads. Not solid roofs, just enough to break a hunter's dive. He pointed toward a fork where several branches met. And here, we'll weave hidden alcoves, places where our people can step aside until danger passes. The elders exchanged thoughtful glances. One finally smiled. It could work. Caleb stood. Then let's begin. Within moments, builders scattered throughout the canopy. Bundles of fresh vines were gathered. Bone knives trimmed young growth. Others climbed into the highest branches. Before long, the sound of weaving echoed through the trees. While the builders worked, Enoch found Shelia sitting quietly near the edge of the village. She watched them in silence. So, Enoch asked gently, what are you thinking? Shelia kept her eyes on the workers. Yesterday, everyone was talking about me. She glanced toward the damaged walkway. Today, everyone's talking about the owl. Enoch sat beside her. The forest has a way of reminding us that every day brings a different lesson. Shelia lowered her eyes. I still don't understand what happened with the beaver. Enoch smiled. And Caleb doesn't yet know if these walkways will work. She looked at him. So, we both keep learning? Enoch nodded. Exactly. Above them, the builders continued weaving fresh vines across the open branch roads. Slowly, the canopy itself was beginning to evolve. The ravens folded their wings and dropped toward the forest. Branches rushed past. Leaves whipped against the elders' faces. Tim never took his eyes off Porky. Easy, he whispered to his raven. We're almost there. Below, Porky smiled to himself. His little gathering sack was nearly full. A handful of mushrooms, fresh berries, enough to eat for another day. Maybe he really could survive out here. He reached for one last mushroom. A twig snapped. Porky froze. Slowly. He looked up. A fox stood only a few yards away. Its ears stood tall. Its nose twitched. For one long moment, neither moved. The fox hadn't been hunting Porky. It had simply wandered into the same clearing. Then instinct took over. The fox lunged. Porky spun and ran. The forest exploded around him. Roots became walls. Stones became cliffs. Every fallen branch became another obstacle. Behind him, heavy paws pounded the forest floor. The fox was gaining. Porky scrambled over a moss-covered root, slipped, caught himself, kept running. His heart pounded so hard he could barely breathe. Ahead, the ground disappeared, a rocky ledge. He skidded to a stop. Far below, a steep drop vanished into the trees. He looked left, solid rock. He looked right, solid rock. Behind him, the fox slowly stepped into the clearing. Its tail swayed. Its yellow eyes never left him. Porky back to the very edge. Pebbles tumbled over the cliff. He looked down. If he jumped, the fall would kill him. If he stayed, the fox would. His voice barely escaped. Lord, I could really use some help. Above, 4 familiar shadows swept across the rocks. The fox looked up. Too late. The ravens burst through the trees. Tim stood in his saddle, bow already in his hands. He pointed toward the fox. Loose! Tiny arrows streaked through the air. This isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning. Tune in for the next episode, A World of the Nomads. If you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, and share, and hit the comments. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you want to see more of. Let's talk.